Jon Jones in Chechnya. He also met up with Ramazan Kadyrov, the leader of Chechnya. He spent a day with him. He says he's signing a major ambassador deal in Russia. As far as his MMA career, it's a little bit out of my hands. I'm getting in shape. I'm lean, completely capable of hopping into a training camp. I guess time will tell. Either way, life is good. Jon Jones wants to be on the White House card. Dana White doesn't trust him, but Jones says he's willing to not be the main event if he doesn't trust him, and he'll just be on the main card and take on Alex Pereira. He was also approached the other day about grappling DC for charity. I said, absolutely. Let's see what comes of it. 3-0. He also met up with Chechnya's most famous UFC fighter, Khamzat Chimaev.
Khamzat Chimaev. Jon, как я тебя учу.
Jon Jones и Khamzat Chimaev. Сейчас сошлись рукопашные. Кто кого? Кто кого? О, Jon побежден. Машаллах. Убежал Джон. Джон убежал в Америку. Дела мой первый. Нет.
Hey. No video. He did $5,000.
For the living, это был дружеский бой. Anybody?
Yeah. He did $5,000.
Okay.
I trust him.
In the octagon's heart, legends are made, but every swinging kick history has made.
This is dirty fighting, man.
No, you gotta do it. You gotta have that. That's legal.
My shoulder.
Hey, tell them this is MMA, not boxing.
MMA, you go box,
Jon Jones has been working extensively with his protege, Gable Stevenson, and he says Gable's going to be the top heavyweight on the planet within the next 14 months. Mark my words. Gable has a lot of hype. We'll see if he lives up to it. If he does, that's great. But usually just being a really good wrestler with some knockout power these days isn't enough to catapult you straight to the top to become a champion. But the good thing for him is the heavyweight division is really weak, so we'll see what happens. The last guy with this much hype was a really good wrestler with some strong knockout power. That was Bo Nickel, and he's been in the UFC through the Contender Series show over 3 years now, and he's not even in the rankings, and that's not a knock on him, but he had a lot of expectations that he also put on himself. We'll see if Gable lives up to the hype and surpasses it. After his victory over the weekend over Belal Muhammad, Ian Gary moves up 4 spots in number 2 position in the welterweight rankings. Now the top 6 is JDM, Gary, Rachmanov, Morales, Muhammad, and Prates. Belal drops 3 spots to number 5. With Gary being number 2 now, he has a good claim to ask for a title shot. After his victory over the weekend over Shamil Gaziev, Waldo Cortez Acosta moves up 1 spot to number 5 position. So he's now top 5 in the heavyweight division. Top 5 is gone. Volkov, Pavlovich, Blades, and Cortez Acosta. Jalton Almeida drops 1 spot to number 6. Waldo Cortez Acosta wants to get one more fight in this year. He says he wants to fight Curtis Blades, and Curtis Blades is down. He thinks he's better than him everywhere.
Hey, love the matchup. I beat him with the hands. I beat him with the wrestling. I beat him with the jiu-jitsu. I'm just better than him. He's not on my level at all. I cannot believe he called me out. That's crazy. I feel a little disrespected. Like, he think he can fuck with me. Oh, yeah. He can't wrestle. He can't fucking wrestle. But he knows that, and I would assume he probably thinks he's going to be able to sprawl and knock me out. Hey, you like Waldo? I got no beef with him, but he asked for me. You want the smoke.
Waldo Cortez Acosta does say that the UFC is looking to get him a fight on that 323 December 6th card. He would be the most active fighter in the UFC this year if he got it. 6 fights, and 3 of them coming in just over a month. Maybe he could fight Blades if Blades is willing to take a short notice fight, but not everyone is willing to take such quick fights like Waldo is.
Soft. Overrated. Pretty boy. A bitch. much.
Shavkat Rakhmonov looking to return in February or March. He's been off since December 2022. He's willing to fight another #1 contender if Islam Makhachev cannot defend his title during that window. He seems to think he's getting a title shot, but it's really up in the air. There's so many contenders, and even though Usman's ranked #8, he may end up getting it because Makhachev wants it and Ali Abdelaziz wants it, and he has a certain level of power and influence in the UFC. Based on that, he may be able to maneuver an Usman versus Makhachev title fight. That being said, a lot of people think Shavkat Rakhmonov is the most competitive matchup for Islam Makhachev. Carlos Prates was looking to get into the octagon and face off with the winner of JDM versus Islam Makhachev. He asked Dana White if he could do that, but Dana said hold off on doing that because the champ let him have his moment. Also, they don't know who's going to be fighting the winner, so he didn't want to have him face off in the cage. It's kind of like Paddy and Ilya. Paddy faced off with Ilya in the cage. Dana White didn't like that. He was like, who allowed this to happen? It was Joe Rogan. Ilya Topuria says he has Paddy on his mind in terms of who he's going to fight next. Arman Sarukian don't like that. Could it be any more obvious that El Pato is doing everything in his power to avoid fighting me? I don't know. Topuria was willing to fight Makhachev. If you're willing to fight Makhachev, I don't think you can be accused of ducking anyone. Sometimes the official UFC rankings are pretty crazy. Bilal Muhammad dropped to #5 position at welterweight after his loss to Gary, but somehow he's still in the pound-for-pound rankings at #15. He's 5 in his own division. Gary, Rakhmonov, Morales are ahead of him, but of course they're not in the pound-for-pound rankings. But somehow Bilal Muhammad is still ranked #15 pound-for-pound. KSW making an interesting rule change for missing weight. Besides the financial penalty, they're also deducting a point in the fight. That's interesting. Probably a lot less weight misses as a result. Some people call for that in the UFC because guys will miss weight because it gives them an advantage in the fight, but if they lose a point, that advantage gets taken away, so maybe it will result in more people actually making weight. Because some of the weight misses in the UFC are pretty egregious. Some guys are missing weight by a half a weight class or more sometimes, so it can be a pretty big advantage in a fight. Bisping got sick in Qatar. He was commentating at UFC Qatar, so he ain't doing his podcast. Flying back from Qatar, became very sick, chest pain, severe body aches. Thankfully, I got a hold of some antibiotics, so fingers crossed we can record the show tomorrow. Latest rumor is John Silva versus Arnold Allen, Jan 24, UFC 324 in Vegas. Arnold Allen's ranked #6 at featherweight. John Silva's ranked #11. Good opportunity for Silva to break into the top 6. For Allen, it's a risky fight against a guy ranked below him who's a knockout artist. Not too much to gain other than a paycheck and maybe a concussion, but Allen has talked about moving up to 155. Silva's the guy who's fought at 155. If they don't want to make featherweight, they could do it at lightweight. In the last video, you were talking about which American fighter is the biggest prospect for UFC champion. Gable probably is, and he's not even in the UFC. I love the pressure they're putting on this guy. You're going to be UFC champion in just over a year. You're not in the UFC. You only got 2 MMA fights, but you're going to be UFC champ in just over a year. All this, mind you, is being extrapolated from just crushing 2 cans. All these news channels keep saying Dana doesn't want Jones on the White House card is ridiculous. We all know he does. I mean, in every single interview, he keeps saying he can't trust him and doesn't want him on the card. So if he's saying one thing but means the opposite, okay, that's fine. Maybe he wants him on the card but can't trust him. John is open to being not the main event, so maybe that will change things. Sean Strickland working for that 7K. Give me Stevenson versus Sal Savoy on that White House card. The way people are talking about Gable, that's possible. He fights #5, Waldo. Then he gets the #1 ranked guy. Then he beats him and wins the title at the end of next year and defends the belt 42 times in 2027. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you want to donate, you can via Super Thanks and a link on the main page. Until next time, thank you for watching.